it is time for your NBA Finals recap for this year. Lakers versus Heat. It was a series to remember in the year that they went down to the bubble. And just real quick, if you're new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any A to Z sports action. So we're going to just break down each game briefly and take a look at the game's top performers. So for the first game was kind of a dominating performance for the Lakers. They just kind of controlled the whole game. LeBron James didn't have his best game. The Lakers were led by Anthony Davis, who put up 34 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, almost getting that triple-double. Jimmy Butler, who had been fantastic during the NBA playoffs, scored 23 points, while only posting up 2 rebounds and 5 assists. So not his best game of the series, but it was still memorable. If we take a look at some of LeBron James' number, he was the Finals MVP. So in this game, it was not his best game. He only put up a solid 25 points, which is not his most for the series. 3-point, he was very hot for 3-point in these finals. He was 2 for 4. He shot the ball 17 times, put it in 9 times. So not a bad night for him. He did have 13 rebounds, 9 assists, almost putting up a triple-double there. So not his best scoring night, but definitely was very impactful during this game. So we're going to move on to week 2 here, or game 2 here of the NBA Finals. This was another game that the Lakers did win, but it was they kind of squeaked this one out. This was one of LeBron's better games with 33 points, 9 rebounds, and also 9 assists. Almost that triple-double, just one away in the assists and rebounds. We'd see a lot of that from him in this series. Jimmy Butler with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists. Still hasn't really came out like we thought he would during these NBA playoffs. He did step up in one of these games coming up. And so, looking at some of the other top performers from this game, is really interesting how the series played out because Gordon Dragic was injured for most of it. He'd been doing a lot of their heavy lifting on the scoring end for the Heat, and so he was injured. He only played, I think, 1 or 2 games in the series and was limited in his action, so it was tough for the Heat. Jimmy Butler had an off night shooting. He was 7 for 17, but still managed those 25 points. And then, let's see. Miles Leonard also was a good pickup for them recently. He put up solid points. And that's some of their bench players that really shone out were Kelly Olynyk. He scored 24 points and was 3 for 7 shooting the 3-point ball. He also had 9 rebounds. So really he came out in this series a lot, and it was interesting. Davis and LeBron James did most of the heavy lifting. No other player scoring over 20 points. Rajon Rondo also did terrific in these NBA playoffs, scored 16 in this game with 10 assists. So he really made a big impact for them. It'll be interesting to see where Rondo will sign along with Anthony Davis in this offseason. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on to game 3. This was the game that the Heat actually took. I'll just get to that real quickly so we can look at the stats. Just a second here. And here we go. In the third game, the Heat took it 115-104. LeBron James with 25 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. He didn't really score the ball super effectively. Only a couple of games over 30 points, 140-point game in this series. Jimmy Butler, this was definitely his best game. 40 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists, getting that 40-point triple-double. Really a dominant game for him, and the Heat take the lead. And now the Lakers are going to go up 3-1 in the series. They win this game 102-96. LeBron James also led the way for the Heat. And then Jimmy Butler LeBron James leading the way for the Lakers. and Jimmy Butler dropping down a little bit in the scoring category. Still managed about 10 rebounds and 9 assists. So it really wasn't that bad of a game for him. And we'll take a look at some of the other stats from these players. Another game where Rajon Rondo, coming off the bench, also had 9 points, which is a pretty good scoring game for him. Not his best game of the series. He did come on strong in some of these games, though. And Bam Adebayo, this was one of his best games. He was also playing injured for most of the time, so there was a lot of stuff that he really was limited to in his action, but he did manage 15 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. So, an alright game for him. Taking a look at Kyle Kuzma in this game. He also scored 9 points, so they really wanted him to be their third best player during this series. He was not. Rajon Rondo was, but that's fine. They still got the dub in this series. Moving on to Game 5. I thought this was one of the most interesting games of the series, because really I thought the Lakers were going to close it out here. LeBron James with 40 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and battling Jimmy Butler's triple-double, 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. This really had the feeling that the Lakers were going to close this out going up 3-1, but just that last final sequence with Danny Green, LeBron James finding Danny Green wide open for 3, misses it. They get the rebound, and then Markieff Morris coming down. They were down a couple of points, and he throws it out of bounds. They were down 1, and they foul Jimmy Butler. He makes the 3 throws, puts them up 111 to 108. So really just a sloppy closeout of the game for the Lakers, and so they were really hoping to get the dub in this game. They wanted it really bad, but they did end up winning the NBA championship 106 to 93. Bam Adebayo leading the way. Jimmy Butler just kind of dropped off. The Lakers capturing the win. LeBron James with a very impressive triple-double, 28 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, and Adebayo getting the double-double as well. And this was a very interesting series. And then LeBron James getting Finals MVP is 4th, and I really think this makes the NBA GOAT debate a little different, even though I still value Michael Jordan as my number 1 player. But LeBron James, the numbers he averaged 29 points, really high numbers in other statistical categories, almost getting a triple-double, and leading in categories for most of the statistical categories for everyone on the floor, and he really just dominated like we've seen him do in so many NBA Finals. And I thought it was cool to see LeBron James get that Finals MVP and carry the Lakers to the NBA championship. That ties them with the Boston Celtics with 17, and we could see them capturing their 18th next year if they put the pieces together again. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Zeke from A to Zeke Sports, and I'm so excited that you guys watched this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like, please subscribe to the channel. That'd be really awesome. Thank you so much for watching A to Zeke Sports.